Hello, everybody. This is Mike from B Tech Reviews, and today is Sunday, February the 4th, 2024. Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you all are doing good today. Hope you all had a great day. We are headed into the new week already since it is about 11:30 at night as of the making of this stream. So again, thanks again for tuning in. I just wanted to share a Amazon deal that I saw going on right now since I am an Amazon affiliate. For those of you who follow the channel, right, anytime you click a link in my description, it does help out the channel. It does give the channel a small portion of the sell, right? So just a heads up, that's I am an Amazon affiliate, and that does give me an extra check a month when people make purchases using my link. So again, shout out to anyone that clicks the link. And I am going to share a deal here today via Amazon affiliates. Again, today I am going to share the Pixel 7a, which is on sale currently. Let's go ahead and share that. Let's go ahead and put that on the screen here for you guys. So yeah, I just was on Google because I was on Amazon because I'm technically looking for like another, I guess, a backup to my backup phone, just in case something happens to my Pixel 7 Pro. This is obviously a very good deal. The Pixel 7a marked down almost $150 actually. Actually, I think it's a little more than $150. So this phone actually retails for $499. And this again, hopefully you guys can hear me okay, by the way. Let me know if you guys can't. This is technically a live stream. But yeah, so this phone is currently 25% off. So it is $375 marked down from $500. Again, this is the A series phone, so you're going to get a little bit less than what you would get from the regular Pixel 7a. Build wise, you're just going to get polycarbonate opposed to like the glass back, but you're still getting a lot of bang for your buck. I really love the fact that Google is actually putting their top sensor in the A series phones rather than just putting in some sort of generic lower end processor, which again, I wouldn't think Google would do something like that just because I think they want to keep the A series alive. I think this is a good way for them to also recycle their the chip sensors that are the chipset that they aren't using, or maybe they overproduced, right, when it comes to the actual current series lineup. So again, this would be the Tensor 2 chip. We got Titus Wilkins in the house. Sounds good. Thanks again. So yeah, again, I am just sharing the I am sharing the deal here, $375. I think that's a pretty solid deal. I think we're going to see a lot of these sales pop up because it is income tax season, right? So I think a lot of a lot of people want people to purchase these devices, right? And if you guys, this is probably the top mid-range phone, like out of all of the mid-range devices, guys. And the cool part is you can get this in different colors, right? You can get this in sea salt blue as well. Let's see if I can get that color change over here. There you go. And again, you can get it in, if you guys want it, you can get it in, I think it's called Poseidon. I forget the name of the white one. I just call it the Panda, the Panda version of this. But, personally, I probably would go with the sea salt version, although the charcoal version does look pretty appealing also, just because it's not really a dark color. It is kind of like a grayish color instead. Check this out. The battery that lasts all day and charges wirelessly. So you do get wireless charging actually with the Pixel 7a. So you did not get that with the prior year version, which was the 6a, which is actually pretty surprising to me actually. So the Titus is saying, is this a step up from the Pixel 7? No, in reality, it's basically the same phone. The only difference is you're going to get a lesser of a build quality. It's going to be a little bit cheaper than the Pixel 7. Also, you have to consider that Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro, those are still like their mainstead and flagships for that generation of device, right? But the A series device pretty much gives you all of the internals, minus the build quality of the device. Basically, they go a little bit cheaper on the build quality, which kind of sucks in some aspects, right? But you're still getting the same chipset. You're still getting, I believe, the same amount of RAM as well, right? So again, it's a very again, I have the Pixel 7 Pro. I'm actually thinking about ordering this device. Of course, you're going to get, you know, the amazing camera sensors that go with the Pixel devices, and this is one thing that, you know, is basic. It's more of an upgrade if you're getting like the Pixel 7. If you have the Pixel 6a. What's up, Joys of the San Joaquin Valley? So yeah, look at that. Nightbot says smash the like button and subscribe. So yeah, pretty much, you know, again, the Pixel 6a had the G1 sensor chip, but also the build quality on the Pixel 7a was definitely a lot. To me, just going from from that phone to this phone, it's a major upgrade. Let's go over the specs, right, guys, and then we'll, you know, we'll get this going over here for you guys. And again, there's going to be a lot of sales on some of these phones that you see here. Phones like the Samsung A54 that's over here in the actual, it's, you know, they're basically promoting it. Check this out, by the way. It's such a very good looking phone, by the way. Like, I don't see a lot of Pixel phones out there in the wild, which is kind of sad, right? I mostly just see Samsung phones and iPhones. There's very few people that I've seen with like people that I know personally that, you know, go you know, just all in Google instead. It says the Pixel 7a engineered by Google, the Tensor G2 chip makes it faster, more efficient, and more secure. So you know, you're definitely going to get more security if you get the 8 or 8 Pro, obviously, right? But you know, I feel like this device is still going to hold up for a good couple of years. Just to kind of give you some comparisons from the Pixel 7 to the 7 Pro. Titus says he hasn't tried Pixel phones yet. Well, you know, I don't know. Again, I don't know what you use for your daily, right? Maybe you're a Samsung guy, or maybe you're, you know, a Motorola. Pixel phones are pretty solid. You know, again, I had the 6A and the 7 Pro. The 6A still holds up, honestly. I wish I should have kept that phone, honestly. Check this out. So the specs of this phone, it's a 6.1 inch screen. So it's a little bit smaller than the Pixel 7. The Pixel 7 stands out at 6.3 inch display. Only a 90 hertz display, right? You are going to get like you're going to get an OLED panel though. You know, the only difference between that one and up to the 7 Pro is the 7 Pro has a 120 hertz display with the LTPO quad HD screen, right? You're going to get a 64 megapixel camera opposed to the 50 megapixel on the Pixel 7, and I don't know why the Pixel 7 Pro has a 48 megapixel telephoto lens instead. The 50 megapixel wide and 12 megapixel ultra wide, right? So it's very interesting, but you know, you are going to get very similar. I would say you're going to get very similar photos due to the software, right? You know, a lot of the times, you know, some of these phones can put in 50 to 100 megapixel cameras, but it all goes back to it all really goes down to the software. And Google has definitely pretty much gotten the software down when it comes to its photography and its camera sensors. So definitely something to think about and look at. Let's see. You're saying I'm using the Moto Stylus 2022. Hey, what's up, Dan Nguyen or Nguyen Dang? Sorry about that. So yeah, this definitely would be a much bigger upgrade from the Motorola Stylus 2022. If you were to even get the Moto Stylus 2023, that would be an upgrade from your device. If you have the cash for, let's say, to get something like this, though, I would recommend getting the Pixel 7, the Pixel 7a. I think it's a very good deal as it sits right now. Even at the $499 price range, it's still a very good device. Again, you're going to get, you know, the 64 megapixel wide, you're going to get a 13 megapixel ultra wide and a 13 megapixel front. So actually you're getting more megapixels on the 7A than you are on the regular 7 or the 7 Pro. The only difference is the Pro has the 12 megapixel ultra wide. I'm sorry. You have a 50 megapixel wide camera on the 7 Pro. And you actually do get a smaller sensor on the front-facing camera, but again, you know, it all goes back to the software. You know, Pixel 7 Pro does have macro focus, super high res zooms up to again up to 30x real tone. You know, you're not going to get that much of a zoom like you would on the 7 Pro, right, on the Pixel 7a, but you're still going to get a super res zoom 15 times up to 8x real tone. You are going to get 24-hour battery life, which, you know, again, that's speculation as far as the battery life goes, right? Let's go ahead and look at the features here. And, you know, even though it says it has Android 13 here, pretty much once you get the phone going, and it'll probably throw you the update for Android 14. Most of these all of the Pixel phones should have Android 14 by now. Again, the cool part about owning a Pixel device is you can actually take this to any carrier, guys. So just a heads up for that. If you're with Metro by T-Mobile, you can take it to Metro by T-Mobile. If you're with, Verizon Wireless, you can take it to Verizon Wireless. You can literally take it to any network, at least any U.S. carrier network. Again, Cricket, AT&T, T-Mobile, any of the prepaid versions of that, right? Pretty much all of them will work on these devices. I think that's the one up that the Pixel devices has on the on as far as being an unlocked device opposed to other devices out there, because there are other devices that you can buy, but some of them will not work on some of the other networks. Okay, let's check this out, guys. Let's continue on. So it does have fingerprint recognition. I want to say it's going to be in-screen fingerprint, which I'm not a fan of the in-screen fingerprint sensors. I really wish Google would just get rid of that, at least for their A series phone. I just don't see the point of having a finger. I remember it being on the 6A also. It just really wasn't necessary. Touchscreen, obviously 31 hours. It's not giving me milliamp batteries, but it says here it's got 4,300 milliamp batteries. It's got a dual SIM, so probably this will have a physical SIM card slot and what do you call it? An eSIM. Although I'm not 100% sure. You might have to quote me on that, because I'm pretty sure most of these phones, most of the newer phones, are getting away from physical SIM cards. Let's see. Joys of the San Joaquin Valley says, I use the Motorola G Pure. Sounds pretty cool. From Xfinity Mobile. Well, again, if you guys are thinking about upgrading, nothing wrong with the Moto G Pure. I'm actually thinking about getting the Motorola Think Phone, because that one's actually $399. The only thing that's kind of intriguing me about that device is that you can shoot in 8K on that device, guys. So, and that's what's intriguing me about that device. Nguyen Dang says, I'm going to keep my Pixel 4a 5G until there's no more software updates. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you own an older Pixel A device, like the 4A, if you think about it, the 4A really didn't come out that long ago. I think it came out early 2020 or maybe 2019, from what I remember. Really not that old of a device. I remember having the Pixel 4a and the 5a as well. The 4a was probably one of my favorite devices as far as the weight, the size of the device, because it was under 5 inch. I think it was under 6 inches. I believe it was like a 5.8 inch screen. I felt like that was the perfect size phone to hold, guys. So pretty cool though. I remember that device. It was a pretty good device as well. I think all the phones will work with all carriers now that LTE is standard. TDMA and GSM has been shut down. That's a possibility, but there's still phones that I see that are being sold online that are unlocked that will tell you that they're not carrier compatible with some companies. So that's why you have to be careful with some of these devices. Now, most of the newer devices, like you're saying, yes, but especially but I'm talking about like devices that like the Xiaomi phones, stuff like that, phones that people are buying that have international international versions of that specific phone, I guess. Let's go back down here, guys. Effective video resolution. So I'm pretty sure this can shoot in 4K, right? Most likely it's going to be 4K at 30 frames a second. At least to my knowledge, you might be able to get 60 frames on 4K, but you still can get 30 to 60 of 1080p. You're obviously going to get more frame rates out of that. 90 hertz display, which I'm not going to complain about the 90 hertz refresh rate. Really, I doubt that anyone's going to be complaining about that. 128 gigs of internal memory and 8 gigs of RAM. So, guys, that's pretty my only gripe about the Pixel phones and any of these Pixel devices is expandable memory, right? So expandable memory is not something that you can get with these devices, like with the Samsung device or with a Motorola device. Again, I don't know what other U.S. market phones are out there. Nokia, I guess, right? Even though I hear they're doing away with Nokia phones. By the way, guys, smash that like button. Thank you again for joining in. I really appreciate you. I hope I'm streaming on the right freaking network over here, by the way. I have like so many YouTube channels now that I'm just trying to make sure that I am on the right channel over here. It looks like I am. So I just want to give everybody a shout out. Everyone that's here: Joyce, Nguyen Dang. Who was the other guy over here? I gotta scroll back up to the top. Titus Wilkins, I think that's Titus. Thanks again. I don't know if you're still there or not. Let's see. Joys of the San Joaquin Valley says, I bought my phone from Xfinity Mobile, so my phone uses United States Verizon LTE bands. All right. Yeah, so again, you'd be surprised though. Some people actually buy international devices just because there's devices that you can't, that are not made in the US or not made for the US, that have better specs, right? So there's actually been times where I've bought an international devices like Samsung. I think even devices like Motorola back in the day, I would actually get like the international versions of phones like the Motorola G series, right? And for the most part, they work the same. Again, it's just that you could really only use them on specific carriers like T-Mobile or Cricket or whatever like that. So again, not trying, not knocking on international devices whatsoever. If as long as it works on your carrier, then it's gonna work okay. So yeah, for the most part, you are only getting 8 gigs of RAM with the Pixel 7a. If you're getting the Pro version of the device, it is going to come with 12 gigs of RAM. Definitely, when I had the Pixel 6a and the Pixel 6 Pro, you really couldn't tell that much of a difference, honestly. In fact, I ran benchmarks on the Pixel 6a and the 6 Pro, and I believe the 6 Pro had 12 gigs of RAM also. And the Pixel 6a actually benchmarked better than the 6 Pro in a lot of different numbers, which is crazy. And again, that's with less RAM, by the way, guys. So just keep that into consideration. Even if you have a 6a phone, I would say keep it or hold on to it, right? You might want to hold out until the Pixel 8a, right? But the Pixel 7a, definitely, again, if you're trying to bump up from like a 3a or a 4a, this would be definitely a significant definitely a significant upgrade on your device. It looks like we got, so Nokia is not closing. I just believe that the maker of the devices, which is actually made by like another company, they are no longer going to be producing Nokia devices in the US. I don't know about internationally. I just don't quote me too hard on this. I just read that, I forget the home company was called, something with an H. But basically, they're just going to make phones in their name now. They're not going to, put the Nokia name on it. So you're gonna start seeing those disappear, probably over the next year or so. Hey, looks like we got Litrizzle in the Hizzle. How's it going, man? Thanks again for joining in. I don't plan to be on too long tonight, guys. I just really wanted to share this deal with you, right? Because I was just like kind of searching, and I was like, wow, that's a good deal. The Pixel 7a for free $349. That's a steal, honestly. And this phone hasn't really been out even a year yet. My only take on that is that maybe they're getting ready to. I mean, it's already February, so that most likely we're gonna probably see the Pixel 8a in either late May or early June of this year. So that's something you have to consider. I was looking up the Motorola ThinkPhone over here, and that's the phone I want to get because it does shoot in 4K. Let's just type in Google Pixel and let's see what comes out, guys. Let's see what comes out. So yeah, they are heavily promoting the Pixel 7a. Again, guys, link is in the description below for you guys to check out. If you guys click that link, I do get a kickback from for the channel as well, guys. So help a brother out if you can. Let's see. My phone gave me a few more options after I bought the code to unlock the carrier network SIM card lock. Okay. You got Michael Loke saying hi to Latrell. Are they good for gaming? Even though I haven't gamed too much on my Pixel devices, I have tested gaming on it, and they're not bad. Like, I mean, with 8 and 12 gigs RAM respectively on, the Pro and the regular devices, I can't complain. I've downloaded games like Genshin Impact, and I've also played Microsoft Xbox Game Pass on it as well. Just to try cloud gaming basically on the phone. So sorry if you hear some barking in the background. My dogs are being a little chiflado right now. So, but yeah, I mean, pretty much, and maybe I would say even Latrell can maybe attest to this, right? The A series phones are are pretty solid devices. You know, you're not gonna get a better bang for your buck as far as mid-range device goes. There's hardly any other devices I could say out there that will match the performance of the phone itself, just because, again, if you go back to it, guys, the Pixel 7a has the same chipset as the Pixel 7 Pro, guys. Okay, so when you say that, when I'm saying that that it basically has the same, chipset as the Samsung, not the Samsung, but the Pixel 7 Pro. Okay. And yes, although the Samsung A54 was a decent device, Latrell, I'm definitely going to agree with you in some aspects, right? I believe, the phone was still a little bit buggy. It was a little bit laggy at times as well. It definitely would not, like, I have never even held the Pixel 7a in my hand, but I can tell you right now, it's the 7a is going to outperform the Samsung A54. Just because. But I think once it got that update to, I believe, Android 14, right, the A54, it did run a little bit better. I remember I did get an update to Android 14 before I sold it. So I think what's killing it is the Exynos chip, and the amount of RAM that it had. I believe that phone had 6 gigs of RAM. I think if that phone would have had 8 gigs of RAM, it would have been very solid. But the only thing I can compare this to, Titus, is that, like, let's say you get like the Samsung S24, and then you get the S24 FE later on down the road. The the only thing I can compare it to is an FE phone, basically, from Samsung, because an FE phone is basically like is like Google's A series, you know what I mean, in some ways, because they're kind of just repackaging it in a different way, maybe a little bit cheaper materials, as far as the build quality goes, but you're basically gonna get the same usability for the device. So interesting how they're putting the Samsung S24 over here when I search for the Pixel 7a. So again, $374. I think that's a very good deal. Like that, you can even get the Pixel 5 still renewed for $159, right? I definitely would skip the Pixel 5 though. Sorry guys, that's just my opinion. The overheating on that device, and you can't even take video in 4K on the phone. It's just not even worth it. Pixel 8, obviously, right? This phone, not even that old. This phone as well. You can get this device currently for $549. Maybe I'll make a separate video for this, or maybe I'll add a link to the description for this, right? But this is a good deal also. 21% off. Get yourself a Pixel 8 if you want to spend the extra couple $100, right? Because again, okay, I don't know what's going on. Every time I click something new, Honey has to get involved. I might have to disable my Honey. But yeah, if you want to go all the way, right, and get something a little bit nicer, you can go with the actual 8 series, obviously, right? Definitely better camera. The G3 chip is gonna outperform the G2 in every single way. Look, check this out. Unlocked for all carriers. It says Android 13, but I'm pretty sure this phone has Android 14 out of the box here. And again, it's really hard to compare it to other devices. Really, the only devices I would say they compare it to is like the Pixel 7 Pro, basically. Oh, look, they actually do compare it to the Pixel 7a. So you have the Pixel 7a being benched up with the Pixel 8 over here, which is pretty cool. You know what I mean? Again, you're going to get 120 hertz displays on the 8 phones, obviously. Fast charging when it comes to the battery, wired and wireless charging on all of the devices, which is crazy. I think the Pixel is doing something good here with the. Hey, looks like we got a super chat in the house, by the way, guys. Thanks again, Nguyen Dang, $1 super chat. Thanks again for joining in on the chat, and again, thanks again for checking out my videos. Again, I know you're one of my OGs that likes to come into my live streams a lot. So shout out to you, shout out to Latrell, shout out to everybody here. So if you want to save yourself a pretty penny, get the 7a, guys. That's really what the video that I really do like the design of the Pixel 8 and the 8 Pro though. But if you look at the 7a, the 7a's design is pretty similar to it as well. You could also say that the regular Pixel 7 design is pretty much mirrored after it as well, right? You can see that the camera bar on the 8 and the 8 Pro are a little bit bigger, obviously, right? But you only have dual sensors on the Pixel 7a. Uh, Same thing with the Pixel 8, but again, the Pixel 8 Pro, you have that triple camera setup that they kind of just widen the I guess that little space bar there, which it's an interesting look. I definitely, I like how they go vertical than rather than horizontal, like most other phone manufacturers. Like Samsung, they go horizontal. They go. These devices go horizontal, and the other devices go vertical. So, honey keeps popping up, guys. It's annoying me. So. Okay, Latrell says he's driving right now, but he's still here. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it, dude. Appreciate it. Don't forget to smash that like button whenever you pull over, man. I appreciate that. So Pixel 8 is also on sale, 21% off Oxlow. So my income tax is coming in, guys, and it's going to be hard for me to stay away from a lot of these devices. Oh my gosh, it's going to be hard for me in general to stay away. Yeah, you get the Pixel Buds 8 Pro for like $150. That's actually something I've been wanting to try out also. Are the Pixel Buds. So check this out. You can even still get the original Pixel 6 over here, right? So, any of these, I would say any devices after the Pixel 6 are still very usable. Obviously, look at that. The 6 Pro renewed is $249. Wow, that's really good, honestly. Pixel 6, $195. I never had the original Pixel 6. I heard there was a lot of problems with the Pixel 6. The Pixel 6a was just such a good device, guys. I'm not gonna say anything bad about the 6a. I loved my 6a. The device is pretty amazing. Let's see. In a few days, Texas might get hit by the storm that is pounding California hard this week. Not sure if that means that it's involving rain. Then, well, good, because we always need the rain. But I'm hoping that we're not going to get any flooding down here. That's for sure. Especially because I have to go to work, and the Super Bowl is this weekend, so I'm hoping that it's not going to, kind of triple the business at my job, because I do work a lot, and yeah, you can even get the Pixel 3a, guys. So not too bad, guys, considering, again, you can even still get the Pixel 7 Pro renewed for $300. That's pretty crazy. Pixel 8 Pro $979 for the 512 gigabyte version. Wow, that's a freaking steal, because they're marking that down like $300 almost. Wow. Check that out, guys. Pixel 8 Pro for $979. So you definitely want, a flagship. This is the route to go, obviously. Porcelain. Out of all these colors, I would probably go with the black. I would go with the obsidian color, just because. Very nice, though, guys. I think, I believe that because it's income tax season, that we're gonna see a lot of price drops, especially on these flagship devices. But look at it. This is a 512 gigabyte, a 512 gigabyte version of a device for under $1,000. Obviously you're gonna pay over $1,000 with taxes. That's pretty crazy still, though, guys, honestly. And this one's the top of the line as far as the Pixel devices. And guess what? You're gonna get 7 years of updates on this phone, so you might be able to have this phone for a good 5 years before having to give it up. Let's see. Nguyen Deng says, when I buy a Google Pixel phone, I use back market. It's cheaper on the site. I don't know what you mean by that, boss. Again, just I am I am promoting the deals via Amazon, because again, I am an Amazon affiliate, so I do post links in the description below, and I do get a small kickback from that. So that's why I tend to promote things on Amazon. I am also a Best Buy affiliate. I believe the Pixel 7a is also $375 through Best Buy's website. I just never post the Best Buy links, guys, basically, because I'm kind of lazy like that. But this is also a freaking solid steal for a device, guys. Right now, I'm currently rocking the Pixel 7 Pro. I'm so tempted to get the Pixel 7a just because, but I feel like, me getting it is not really going to be much of a difference between that and my 7 Pro. So I'm just going to hold on to my 7 Pro for now. And then maybe once the 8 or the 8 Pro goes down in price, I might, pick that up. I am still a part of Team Pixel, by the way, guys. So, I'm hoping maybe this year we might get a few more devices. I didn't get the 8 or the 8 Pro this year. I know a few of my buddies did. I think Latrell got the 8 Pro. And I think CV Tech ended up getting it as well. So shout out to them for still, rocking Team Pixel. I didn't. Unfortunately, I know there. Even guys like Sneed didn't get the device this year, and he was a part of Team Pixel. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's just sending them out to less YouTubers. I know they're still sending some out to some people in some aspects. Because I've been seeing like people post where they're like, "Oh yeah, thanks, thanks Google, hashtag gift from Google, for getting, like the new mint version of the Pixel 8 or 8 Pro, right?" So again, I haven't gotten any emails. Again, I'm not knocking on Google for that or anything like that. I definitely do my best to still try to not collaborate, but try to just keep them relevant, at least on my channel. I definitely do want to put out 1 or 2 videos come soon on my Pixel 7 Pro, just because it is still a very good device in 2024. And even though the device is coming up on a few years old already, came out in 2022, I can't complain for what the device is and how it performs. So let's see, what's Naguya Nang says, what the next Google Pixel I should get that is still a good phone, but not new device when my 4A 5G stops having support. Well, I'm not sure, honestly, because your 4A 5G, I don't know whenever that's going to stop having support. You're going to be the one to know that. But I would say that if you're fine with having an A series phone, get whatever latest A series device is out that year. So, for example, like let's say the Pixel 8a comes out this year, get that phone. But if you want to go a little bit cheaper, then try to get the prior year's model of the A series phone, like the 7a, because technically the 7a is last year's 7a device, right? It's last year's device because it came out last year in 2023. But the phone isn't even a year old, and again, the device is still a top performing device because the G2 chip is still a very good chipset in my opinion. So again, I can't complain. My Pixel 8, my Pixel 7 Pro, I love the performance on this device. It's one of the snappiest Android phones I've ever used personally. I know why Tito loves these Pixel devices so much because I can see it, right. The performance on these devices are second to none on Android, right. Obviously, you're gonna get devices like the S24 Plus or the S24 Ultra, right. Those are gonna be devices that are going to compete with obviously the Pixel devices, but the fluidity of the devices, to me they're on par with iPhones. It's really hard for me to compare them to other devices, because I don't use other flagship devices other than my iPhone, right? So, and yeah, like Latrell says, the devices are very boring in some aspects, right? But you make you the design, honestly, I hate the colors of the phones. If I could be 100% honest, I really don't think they need a fingerprint sensor in the screen as well. I think the fingerprint sensor is just a gimmick, honestly. That's just me though. But yeah, they are a little boring when it comes to stock Android as well. I think but that's the cool part about Android, guys, is you can you can throw skins on your device. You can do whatever you want. You can swap out to another other type of skin or UI, or a launcher. I don't know if people are still doing launchers on Android, right? Um, the way you can customize on it, again, I definitely am not a fan of the look, the way it looks. Also, it reminds me of like a doctor's office in a way, right, when it comes to some of the things. But I personally, again, I'm always going to choose performance over like how something looks or how how boring the device may be. And I'm hoping that in a couple years they do decide to do a little bit of a rehash when it comes to some of the styling on the actual UI itself. Like, I hate that drop down menu bar, guys. I freaking hate it. I think it's the ugliest design, on a menu bar as well. It just kind of takes things away compared to, other Android devices. Like, that's one thing that I'll put Samsung over on Pixel is that, oh, you think the fingerprint sensor location is the best? I think it's too high, honestly. I really wish it was actually a little bit lower, but that's just my opinion, because I've used other phones that have like other fingerprint displays, and some of them are a little bit on the lower side. But I guess, to each his own when it comes to certain stuff like that. Let's Trizzle. Again, I respect your opinion, man. You're my dog. All right, Naguya and Dang. Yeah, man, I wasn't going to be on long today as well. Let's go ahead and close out, guys, again with the Pixel 7a, right, which again is only $374 right now. You know, it's still $300 cheaper than your next generation phone, which is the Pixel 8. The Pixel 8 is $549 right now. So you're still around that $300 mark as far as the, you know, and you're getting almost the same performance, guys. The only difference is it's got the prior year's chipset, and that's it. That's really the only difference. You know, other than that, you know, you're going to get pretty much almost the same performance, almost the same look. A little bit of a chin on this one. Not now that I'm looking at it, you know, you do have a little bit of a chin on the top and the bottom, but I don't think it's going to be anything to, you know, crazy, where people go crazy over, where they're just like, oh, I'm not going to get this device because it has a chin. You know, it's still a good looking device in my opinion, and this device is still going to hold up for a few years from now. So again, guys, this is going to be Mike from BTech Review signing off. Please, if you're watching the replay on this, smash that like button. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Again, if you check out my ticker on the bottom, channel donations are accepted via QR code or super chat. So again, you can leave super thanks after the stream is done as well. So again, that always helps as well. Nguyen Dang, thanks again for the $1 donation on the super chat today. Again, that really does help me on the channel as well. And Latrell says, I'm trying to watch, but people can't drive to save their lives in this city. Be careful, man. It's already midnight. You know, I know you're probably out there, you know, hustling, making that money. You know what I mean? But get home safe, man, and get some rest yourself. I'm about to hit the sack also. But again, guys, smash that like button. Don't forget, channel donations are accepted, and don't forget, channel memberships are open as well, right? I don't think I have any channel members right now. My channel membership is $1, guys. So channel memberships, you know, I think I'll have to kind of overgo what I want to do as far as tiers go again, right? I think I'm going to leave my dollar one at $1 though. You know, you're going to get shout outs obviously if you're in the dollar tier, and you know, again, I might have to add an outro to all of my videos thanking everyone that is in the actual membership as well. So again, guys, Mike from BTech Review